Welcome to the Filmistines, the podcast where we discuss all things movies. Join us as we dive deep into the latest releases, revisit classic films, and explore the art of cinema. Whether you're a film fanatic or just love a good flick, we've got you covered. From Hollywood blockbusters to indie gems, we'll be breaking down the storytelling, cinematography, and everything in between. So grab some popcorn, sit back, and get ready for some cinematic magic. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. We offer tiers at the $1, $5, and $20 level, where the $5 level grants the ability to request films for future episodes. This is the Filmistines, where movies are more than just entertainment, they're an experience. All around you. And welcome back to another episode of your favorite podcast in the world, the Filmistines. Is it still your favorite podcast in the world? Do you even listen to podcasts?
Do I listen to podcasts or our podcast?
Do you listen to a podcast?
I listen to a podcast. Sure, sometimes.
It's not this one.
Not this one.
Hope everyone's doing well today. We have a shitty movie for you guys today. Is that shitty today?
Another one?
Another one. This is like the third one, fourth one, fifth one in a row. I'm not sure. Started Transformers, Little Mermaid.
I mean, we did Robots.
That's not a shitty movie.
Blade Runner.
We got some shit in there for you, though.
Oh my god, Barbie. God
Barbie's
damn,
not
we're
shit,
so
but
sorry.
it's something.
Yeah.
We covered all those films. If you want to go check out those episodes, they are available to you guys. It's good eating out there for films today. In one sense, and the variety and the things that are the risks that are happening. Although Robots did come out in 2005, so that's not really. It's almost 20 years old. That will make you feel old, won't it? Covering that movie made me feel a little old.
Yeah, a little bit.
But today, as always, I am joined by my Kraken friend.
I like that.
Lucy. You like that one?
I like that one.
I thought about that one for a little while. I was like, I need to pull out some better, what do you call those?
Nicknames?
I was thinking like honorifics. That's not right.
Honorifics?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I don't know if I heard that one.
Not sure, but welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing okay.
Good. We are talking about your favorite movie of the year, I think. Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken. That's your favorite movie of the year. Displaced Mario, right?
That's a mouthful, first of all.
It's a terrible name.
Yeah, why not just Teenage Kraken?
Yep.
That would have been better.
Or just Ruby Gillman. That would have been kind of weird, but it would have been better than Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken.
Yeah. I mean, a kid's movie, I would go towards the Teenage Kraken, for sure. Well, no, not my favorite movie of the year.
This is probably the worst movie of the year. I'm splitting hairs. I'm trying to. It's like I'm trying to find the shiniest turd, right? Or something. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to find shit that doesn't stink, right? With Transformers, The Little Mermaid, and now Teenage Kraken.
Yeah, you need to get Transformers out of that list.
I can't.
Now that you've had a couple of days, I think, maybe you're realizing.
I'm just having a hard time because of how bad, especially how bad Noah is. That dude had it rough or something, man. He just, the CG, like the direction he was getting from the director was just, I don't know, man. It did not work out for him. And I feel for him because, like I said, in The Heights, he's much better. He's like a human being in The Heights. I like that. And in Transformers, he just sucks. And I can't get past that. That's probably the worst performance of the year that I've seen.
Yeah, go listen to our Transformers episode.
But I had a better time watching, I think, Transformers than Little Mermaid.
All right, there you go.
You know what I mean? So like from like an entertainment perspective, which is not my dominant perspective. Mm-hmm. I don't, I've told you I don't like being entertained. I don't like laughing. I don't like being happy. Shit's overrated.
Yeah. You don't like life. Got it.
Don't like life. But the end, I won't say it here, but the end of Transformers makes it all worth it. If it was a 3-hour movie, that would have been, I think, still worth it. Because it's just weird as fuck. And very welcome. I can't wait to see that whatever that turns into. But today, yeah, we are covering Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, directed by Kirk D'Amico. See, that looks kind of Italian. How would you say that?
D'Amico? Yeah, D'Amico.
Yeah.
Not Michio. Because of that double C? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, he's, of course, famously known for The Croods.
Oof. Which
was a hit.
It was?
It was a very big hit, yeah. You know, it spawned several sequels or whatever and spin-offs. So it was, he's got some Dreamworks cachet, you know? Or cred. Cachet? Cred? Does that mean the same thing?
Yeah, I don't know. You're with the fancy words today.
Yeah. I just want to go off. I just want to say at the top, really, I can't believe this movie was released in this way. This movie was officially revealed in all of its glory in March of this year. The cast was revealed. Who was working on it was revealed in March of 2023. This film came out in June of 2023. Just came out.
Eesh.
So only a couple months to really get things going. And that's not the craziest thing in the world, but what does that mean from a major company?
From Dreamworks, yeah.
That screams, we're not sure if we're going to release this or not, to me. Well, I don't know about to you, but that screams, we're not confident in this project one bit.
That screams, we're not proud of this.
Yeah. And I'm not surprised because the guys who work at Dreamworks, the guys who are at, the guys at Universal are incredibly smart. Some of these guys, at least. Not everyone, of course. You know, we all know that some execs get into positions they do not fucking belong in, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
But some of these guys and girls, of course, are incredibly smart, and so they are self-aware enough to see the reception and I'm sure the money's made. I'm not sure how much Puss in Boots made, but after Puss in Boots, the last wish, came out, that probably shook everything up in their pipeline. Like, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if some things do get canceled. This one was probably far enough along there. They were like, okay, we'll just get this out because it's an easy cash in, right? Kids love these kinds of movies. Well, it turns out that may not be the case. But I would have canceled the shit out of this. I would have canceled. It's kind of like what's happening with, you know, the Warner Brothers and Discovery thing with James Gunn and DC and stuff. And I'm sure other sectors were happening under Warner Brothers that they're just kind of restructuring completely. And I would have, man, other than the obvious Puss in Boots sequel that's going to be happening, whatever that's going to look like, I won't say here because it's too cool to reveal. You know what I'm talking about?
No, I'm excited.
I can't believe they didn't cancel this shit. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can really say. And the numbers don't lie. It doesn't help that they didn't advertise this movie at all. I'm just going to go ahead and say it just because it's kind of crazy. Go ahead and tell me your production budget guess. Let's get that out of the way.
My guess was 75.
Okay, the budget was 70 million. So you're right there. Good job. But more importantly, I'm not surprised you got that because, you know, it's...
Yeah, I kind of based it off of Puss in Boots. I just made it a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Because I think theirs was 90.
Which is just embarrassing to this movie. Like, you know, it doesn't need to be as good, but it...
And it's DreamWorks, so...
Yeah.
That's why it wasn't 50 million, but...
Yeah.
All right.
But in the box office, it made 40 million... Almost 41.
Oh, no.
This is the first movie we've seen that didn't even hit budget numbers.
Oh, no.
You know, that's not including talent fees, directing. This is a rough hit for DreamWorks.
Damn.
I guess it is only 30 million. It's like not... Well, it's more than that. I guess what I was just saying. It's probably... They might... Somewhere between probably 60... and 80 million, I would guess, is the loss of money here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, I mean, that's another movie.
Yeah, according to Wiki, it says this became DreamWorks' lowest grossing opening weekend of any of their feature films to date.
It's terrible.
They made nothing.
That sucks because these guys, man, these are the guys who did Shrek. These guys were on top of the world at one point. They were so beyond Pixar at one point. It's just not even funny. Shrek is on a whole other level compared to what's, contemporary around that. What is that? Finding Nemo, Cars, Monsters Inc., maybe The Incredibles, that bit, that time period right there.
Yeah, I mean, Shrek is as quotable as SpongeBob right now.
Shrek is a SpongeBob, basically.
Yeah.
It's reached just crazy heights. The only Pixar film that's in that realm is probably Toy Story. And it was halfway forced there because of so many movies, and then...
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, but it's still not on the same level.
Yeah, I wouldn't say any of them were on the same level as Shrek. They dropped Shrek, and Shrek is still one of the best movies out there.
Yeah, Shrek has meme renaissances.
Yeah.
I don't think any Pixar film goes through that. It's kind of crazy that we've come so far, and this is what we get. This is the legacy. This is the studio legacy that kind of Shrek evolved into. It sucks. I wish there was more kind of creative foresight into how to go about doing each of these projects. I would have canceled this. So let's talk about it.
Do we have to?
Yep. We start off incredibly stupid. These people are from Canada. They're blue. They have fishy hair. They have weird fishy ears. I don't know how that's not weird to people.
They don't have noses.
They don't have noses. They have only got 4 fingers. They must live in California,
where everyone's accepted. Yeah, these characters, none of these characters did it for me. They all looked silly. Even the humans looked silly.
Yeah, the art style, I hated.
Yeah, the art style was awful.
I hated it.
And even the characters, I guess you're supposed to like, or, you always kind of have these, like, silly sidekick characters, or the funny ones that are supposed to be, like, the cute and adorable, stupid ones. Those were even amiss here. And I think it's supposed to be their, like, pet-looking thing, whatever that thing's name was. Which, no,
Nessie
come on.
or something like that.
Yeah, it was Nessie. Yeah, after the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, you're right. And then the uncle, he was supposed to be the funny one, but they just dropped the ball there for sure on the characters. And then not even to mention, like, the characters themselves. No one had any personality. No one had any growth here. No character development. They just... Even our main character, Ruby, just sucked. She's, I guess, into math. She's supposed to be smart, but then everything she does is not smart at all. And it's not fitting here. You can't just say someone is smart and then make them say some fancy math words.
Quadratic equation.
Which is not even the fancy math words, exactly. And then make them stupid throughout the whole film. And okay, I guess she's a teenager. I guess she's shy, but
she feels alone.
Yeah, but that doesn't equate make stupid choices, or you know what I'm trying to say?
Yep. Oh, absolutely. She befriended a mermaid immediately. No question.
No hesitation.
No hesitation. Yeah, she... not that you should, just because someone's parents or whatever think a certain way, you should kind of cast their kids out in any way whatsoever. But it's less of a race thing, like a black, white, Hispanic, Asian thing, and more of like a dog, cat thing. It's
yes.
These are your existential kind of rivals on this planet. This is much deeper. It doesn't really hold up when you're trying to say, we should kind of just all get along and we all be accepted and tolerated for our weirdness and stuff, which is good and everything, but you're first and foremost a Kraken dealing with Kraken problems. You're not a human. So there's this disconnect. It's not like in Turning Red, which has some very cute ideas, where she's what's her name? Mia? May. Where May is
right,
a human who turns into a red panda, because it's a representation of her weirdness and awkwardness and a coming of age and literal period and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which they don't really that's kind of a half measure they go in with anyways, but it's
At least they did half a measure.
yeah, this was
No measure.
this was just like a ripoff in a way. I saw that they was inspired by the John Hughes films like Breakfast Club and Easy A.
No way.
And I was just like,
just because you say it doesn't
and Lady
mean
Bird
it's
is said
true.
too. I know. I was just like, there's something funny happening here because Turning Red is obviously inspired by those films as well, but it does it in a much more sincere and homage kind of way that it feels kind of authentic in its own way, even though I don't think it's a very successful movie. I think but it does hit on some cool notes and has some, obviously great animation, but this movie feels like it's a nod to Turning Red pretty much exclusively, and maybe, I guess, a little bit of Little Mermaid in there too, because of our mermaid friend.
Ariel here.
Yeah. And it just like there's something deeply philosophically interesting to think about when are you nodding to the greats? Are you nodding to the derivative of the greats or the second derivative or third derivative? Because it starts somewhere and then everyone's just inspired by that thing, right? And so like Lady Bird's inspired by something and everything. So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much, but I feel like it doesn't really understand what coming of age is.
I feel like they tried to do too many things. They tried to do coming of age. They tried to do anxiety. They tried to do generational trauma. They tried to do superheroes. And then, I guess the teenage stuff is part of the coming of age. But they didn't go anywhere with that. Okay, we have this girl coming of age. She never came of age. We didn't know what her problems were. She didn't all of a sudden become, she was still shy at the end. Just because she danced doesn't mean anything. And then we have this supposed to be generational trauma with the grandma and the mom. We don't know what happened. We get like this brief background story, but we don't know what happened.
Yeah. I mean, in that sense, Turning Red does it much better.
Yeah.
Because the beginning of Turning Red, beginning of a lot of Pixar films are really good. If we learned kind of in our ranking of the Pixar films episode, go watch that at patreon.com/filmistines. It's like 3.5 hours long. So good luck.
Yeah. Spread it out.
But the beginning of Turning Red, when she's turned into the panda and like she's having these like really awkward moments, and then I can't remember exactly how it is. I know there's like a journal with her drawing that boy and stuff.
Yeah,
and
she's drawing boys.
She's like, she's like embarrassed for the first 30 minutes of the whole film and stuff. And so it's like really fun in that way. Maybe not 30 minutes, but. And then we see like the uncomfortable nature and dynamic between her mom and then her entourage and everything. It's like, it's kind of fun. It's a lot of character and stuff. And then, it doesn't add up to much, but it's a nice little set piece. And they try to do that here. And it just, you just don't get anything. You don't get any sense of relationship. No. And, and it does hurt it that it's the mom and the grandma have to do their thing when they're Krakens. That hurts the film.
Yeah.
It does. It certainly does. If they could, bring that down to earth and be more human-like, it could help kind of facilitate that connection they maybe had. It sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like there was never a connection. Like she was just always gonna, I don't know. It's like, I was not confused. I guess I was kind of emotionally confused on this matter. I could see what was happening because it was just, this movie is made for a 5-year-old. This movie doesn't go anywhere with anything. This has to be made for a 5-year-old, especially with the uncle character. He is got 5-year-old written all over him. But not that that's a terrible thing either, but that does hurt a film for me when it's just not, it just doesn't take itself in any adult, sophisticated kind of ways. You feel me?
Yes. I mean, okay, yes, it's made for 5-year-olds, but can we stop treating kids like they're stupid? They're just young.
Yeah.
They're just not developed. Doesn't mean they're stupid. If you think about some of the films that, made you who you are when you were younger, they kind of still impact you. Like, let's just take Finding Nemo, for example. that's just the first thing that came to my mind. But you learn a little bit from Finding Nemo. You learn, even though Nemo can't say, anemone, you learn that's where he's from. That's where he lives. That's where clownfish live and how they clean themselves or whatever. You take bits and pieces and you learn from them.
Yeah.
And you were really young when you watched that film, and you don't think about that stuff. And then you get older and you kind of think about it, and I don't know. They're influential in some sort of way to your tiny little brain. So why are we feeding kids this kind of crap? Along with Cocomelon. I guess at least Cocomelon teaches you colors and letters.
Yeah, but it also teaches you how to not pay attention. It basically, I should say it trains you to need a certain type of sensation to stay engaged. And that, man, Cocomelon, we're gonna do a podcast on the destructive nature of Cocomelon.
Oh, that sounds fun. That sounds like content for subscribers.
Yep, we're gonna introduce content for subscribers, $1 and up. Supporters on our Patreon at patreon.com/Filmestein. Soon we're gonna rank, the films of different directors like David Lynch and
Tim Burton
and Night Shyamalan and everyone else. Bong Joon-ho. We're close to covering all his stuff anyways. So, and that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good topic.
And why do you feel like you still need to continue this trauma between your parents or your grandmas or moms or whatever? Turning Red already did it. Coco already did it. What's the other one? Encanto. They already did it. Just let it be. They did it so fucking well too. Just we have it. We have it there. We have it now. Do something else with this.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's becoming increasingly unoriginal, isn't it?
Yeah, and now I'm embarrassed that I have generational trauma and anxiety.
Yeah, they're kind of trivializing in that, well, everyone has generational
so now I don't
trauma.
even want to admit I have those things.
That's hilarious. I didn't think about that. That's so funny. Yeah, welcome to the club. That's what they're saying.
That's exactly what they're saying.
That's
so I'm not special.
Yeah, this movie sucks, man. I'm actually, a movie not making money it's always a sucky thing to see. I don't want people to be without work, especially crew members and stuff. People who have take less part in the creative vision, but these writers and directors, man, these guys need to be fucking punished in some way or another. I know the Croods it's served a place in time, it's bad. I don't know if you've seen the first Croods.
I've seen bits and pieces, and I know my nieces and nephews still watch it to date occasionally.
I think the setting and the dumbness, which is fitting because they're cavemen, it helps sell the whole thing, and it's definitely another movie made for very young people. Nick Cage is in that. I think he's the dad. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's it's one of his weirder movies.
Oh my gosh,
I would say that he's in. He's in a lot of weird shit though, to be fair. But this is a movie that this is a movie targeted towards, at least in content, it's targeted towards 11, 12, 13-year-old people in general, puberty and stuff. Maybe you could argue specifically an angle of little girls in that age, but I guess it's exactly that. It just feels like they're talking to people who are just inherently kind of dumber, which would inherently be just a younger audience. But that's like that. But that's not it, obviously, because they're in high school, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a disconnect there, I think, with the creatives understanding what they have and how they wrote this. And I know good writing is rare in film, probably at all times during the course of film history, right? I would imagine. I don't know. I haven't seen every film, but I would imagine. I know people in my life, I don't know about yours, who have said that films just are not written like they used to be, which is just one of those things that just screams, well, it's probably been like that all along, and you just we're more into a specific generation of films, and so like that's just carries with you, kind of like music and whatnot. You know,
Yeah.
you hear that a lot in music. Music today sucks, right? No, you know, it's AC/DC's not that good. I'm sorry. Just saying.
Yeah, part of me wonders when I'm gonna be saying that.
I hope never.
Yeah.
I hope never, man. Especially because, you know, like Imagine Dragons is part of our time.
What's wrong with Imagine Dragons?
They suck. They're probably the worst band to ever walk the earth.
Here we go.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but I can't get out of the mindset that I guess I'm shocked. I'm kind of in a shock mode of just, I can't believe they released this. Especially after hearing about some of the cancellations that Warner Brothers went through during the merger. It's like, damn, like this is like the time for everyone to get their shit back together, right?
Yeah.
And especially after DreamWorks released Puss in Boots. Are you joking me?
Yes.
That's gonna go down in history, if not already. You know, it's kind of hard to do right now because it's only been out for 8 months, or 9 months now, I guess. I think it came out in last December. But that's gonna be one of the most iconic animated films of all time, right next to Shrek. You know, they did it again in a different way. You know, it probably won't be as quoted because it's just probably inherently not as quotable, just because it's just a more solid, dramatic telling of, you know, Puss in Boots' story.
Yeah.
But I just can't believe it. I will say one positive thing about this film: the animation's okay. Like how things are animated, it's all right. It's animated better than the underwater sequences in Little Mermaid. You know, the water feels a little bit more true to what's happening.
Are you kidding? Oh, okay. Under the water, sure.
Under the water.
But the water looks awful.
Yeah, water, I would say not how things look stylistically, but just how things kind of move and interact with each other. I think there's, you know, there's a lot of consistency and like artistic kind of coherency in all of it, and how things move and how things kind of look and stuff. Even the people look weird, of course, right? So, and it helps with, you know, the animation kind of just, it does embrace that for sure. I appreciate that. But I will say, I think the voice acting is pretty good. I think the voice acting is probably the best thing about it. If you're a fan of voice acting, I don't know if anyone's ever been just a fan of voice acting, right? But I think Lana Condor, who plays Ruby, I think she does a good job. Surprisingly, because she's not a voice actor, but she does a good job embodying this character and stuff. And Toni Collette, I like her and stuff normally, and I think she's the mom. I think they even the uncle, I think his voice acting is just it's pretty good. I'm like, wow, it's just not on the same level as what you'd expect for how bad the movie is. Just,
I mean, the voice acting was just okay, and I don't know if that's the thing you want to give it a good, you know.
That's all I got. Yeah,
that's all I got. We want to give it a positive here. I have nothing. There's elements in here that I'm all for, you know. Monsters. Hey, you know me, love some monsters. And you made this Kraken huge. I mean, you know, when you put it out in the city, it looks huge, at least. And probably if I had to pick a somewhat decent scene would be when Ruby's holding her mom in her hand and she's calming her down and she's shrinking as she's calming down. That was pretty good. But that's all I got. You managed to fuck up Krakens, some of the coolest sea monsters, and you managed to just make them look so lame.
Yeah, they do look lame. They do, even when they're all big and in their glory and stuff. What do you think about the mermaid girl when it came to school and how obvious that was? Was it supposed to be that obvious? She had sequins pants. She had red hair. Yeah,
this was Ariel.
She was wearing
Bobo Ariel.
Colors. Yeah, it was Bobo Ariel. They didn't even try.
I don't know. I like when I feel smart that I can kind of call something here, but This was very
But
spoon-fed.
this is like someone asking you to oppose 2 plus 2, and then someone's behind that person holding up their hand saying 4.
Yeah,
4.
exactly.
You know, it's just like, this
is it 4?
It's like, no.
Yeah,
this is so bad.
And I love a good montage, but the montage here it was just okay. It was just okay.
And it wasn't her getting the staff was not earned.
No.
It's just like,
and her superpowers took like 2 seconds to learn. All right.
Yeah. This is definitely a problem of, your 90-minute movies. You don't really have any time to breathe, and I'm glad this movie wasn't more than 90 minutes after.
Oh, me too.
But and she gets the thing. She gets the trident, and is that its thing? Is that the thing? Is that what it's called? Trident. And of course, the mermaid takes it immediately because I don't.
Who saw that coming?
Who saw that coming? And it escalates in just the most. I don't even want to be that kind of person that says, that it's just too predictable, because most films are predictable if you just sit there and fucking pay attention.
Not to me.
Not to you?
Not to me. Maybe I'm not paying enough attention.
Well, I mean, you gotta be paying attention and be thinking about where things are going and stuff.
That's my problem, or not a problem. I don't mind that. I like being shocked and surprised and gasping.
Yeah.
I like doing that.
But I guess it's that thing where they gave you the answer right in front of you. It's just like, stop.
Yes.
Just be smarter.
Yes.
Whatever that means. Like, I don't even know how you'd fix this movie. I can help fix some parts in certain movies. I've got a talent in that, I would say.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree. I think sometimes you're like, well, if they would have done this, it would have been better, and I like it. But if you have something here, you're gonna have to rewrite the whole movie.
The whole movie's fucked. I don't even know where to be. I just wouldn't start with this movie. I would take a movie like Turning Red and just embrace the turning redness of it a little more.
Yeah.
And don't fucking spin those girls as capitalists. That's what I would do.
That's funny.
Which I appreciate on a literal, if they're real people level and, making money like that. And that's cool, but not from like a Lady Bird kind of coming of age, really a telling type story, I'm looking for, something to walk away with. And
yeah, she turned into a Kraken. That's not coming of age. Just because you turn into a monster and you figure out your mom lied to you, you don't all of a sudden feel older.
Yeah,
you don't develop these
so
skills.
Awkward.
No,
It's so awkward. It's as awkward as she is. The one bit I liked, it's like literally 2-3 seconds probably, is when she's on the phone at the very beginning with them. And they're in like a Teams meeting next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she looks up, there they are in that order.
Yeah.
That was cute.
Yeah. I
feel like it's probably been done a million times in different stuff, but that was cute. That was kind of fun, but that was it. I'm grasping at straws here.
Yeah, maybe I'm a 5-year-old, but
no, if you were a 5-year-old, you would have liked this a little more.
Well, I was gonna say maybe I'm a 5-year-old, but I thought like the cutest kind of moment there was the uncle with the corn dog and the birds trying to eat it.
Oh yeah, that's cute.
That's cute.
Yeah, and those are good moments to have in between, like the meat of the movie. There's just no meat here.
There's no meat, exactly. Because even the part where what's her boyfriend's name?
Jonathan, Scott. Connor, that's right.
Even when Connor blasts himself with the confetti gun, that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then he fell in the water. It's like, it's your moment.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it.
It was also cute that they felt the same way about each other.
Yeah. You
don't see that a lot. And it's like very obvious. And it's just like, oh my God, they're so awkward. They don't, like, he sees it.
Get over each other.
He sees it, but he's too nervous. She doesn't even fucking see it. She's an idiot. Which is, I don't know, maybe make that the focus of the whole fucking movie.
Yes.
That would have been cute.
That is true. Well, not for every girl, but definitely for me. That's how I felt a lot of times. Like,
Definitely
oh, they don't like me, but it's so obvious to everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, run with that.
Yeah. I don't even know if I've seen that in an animated movie. They could have ran with that, and then her Krakenness could have been that awkward thing that made her do awkward things in front of him, and he's like, "Why are you stuck to the glass? Because of my suction cups." I don't know, some shit, some stupid shit. That would have been much more domestic and fun, and much easier to write too. Because I know the ambitious.
There you go. You always come up with something to make it better.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Well, you helped me there.
All right, you're welcome.
I'll pay you $500 a day.
All right.
I think that's normal like junior level grip fees.
$500 a day?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yep.
I don't even know how much I make at work. Is that more than I make?
Probably. So that's about $2,500 a week. So yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They make some good money. But they, a lot of people have to live in expensive areas though, so there's that to consider. So it's really nice when you live in Mississippi or Louisiana and outside of the city and stuff, and you get hooked up with one of these film people, and you're making, you're working for 2 months and you're making $2,500 a week.
Yeah.
You fucking make some money, man. But when you live in LA, you gotta make that money. It's like making $40,000 anywhere else. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, this movie was expected to be bad. I was curious about this film solely off of its DreamWorks-ness, right? It's coming from DreamWorks Studio, and it I want to do better and try to stay on top of watching animated films, just to watch where that goes with the major studios and stuff.
Mhm.
Cuz that does, animation speaks to me, and I wish I was a little more in the cartoon loop, a little more, cuz the cartoon realm really speaks to me a little more. And I know from some insiders that they think a cartoon revolution is on the horizon with like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network and Disney and stuff, which is very cool. Which would be, the last one of those we saw was probably 2010, 2011.
With
things like Adventure Time and Regular Show and some things like that. And then the last little remnants of that we got were, of course, Gumball, the amazing World of Gumball, I think is what it's called. Great show.
Yeah, I think the last cartoon I watched was We Bare Bears.
Yeah, We Bare Bears was a little bit of a weird get for Cartoon Network too. That was real quick show that kind of went away.
I know. I'm sad. At least they had a movie.
Yep.
But
was that about their origin? The movie?
I think so.
Yeah, okay. But this is not part of the animation renaissance that we're definitely in the middle of with Spider-Man and Puss in Boots and whatever is to come next.
That's all I got here. No final thoughts. No thoughts. I'm thoughtless.
You're thoughtless? Good job with your budget guess. That was good.
Thank you.
That's good.
I feel like animated films.
You're figuring out?
I'm figuring out a little better.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more of a standard thing. Like you can very easily calculate that each minute costs this much to make, versus on a proper film set, to get one shot, you might spend a day on it. You might end up spending 2 days on it. So that shot actually ends up becoming pretty expensive.
Yeah.
And in animation, you definitely get what you pay for. But yeah. Well, thank you for watching this film with me.
You're very welcome.
We are on. Hopefully the next film will be better. Hopefully it will be more. Hopefully it will have more vision and direction and just know a little bit more about what it wants to be and it deliver.
Yeah.
That is always one of the worst things about a film, when it doesn't understand what it is and it just doesn't hit anywhere. This movie doesn't know what it is. And a lot of films suffer from that. A lot of artists don't understand their own creativity. And this is when you need people like, Stephen King's wife to kind of be like, nope, this book sucks, And he's like, all right, I guess I got to make a new book. Give me a week. That kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. You need a maybe a second or third pair of eyes here.
Yeah, this was a very someone surrounded by a yes man or something for some reason. But I can't imagine that happening with someone who made the Croods. You know what I mean? If this was the guy who made Shrek, okay, there's a little something there. If this was Christopher Nolan, okay, there's something there. But it's just a little unfortunate. I hate to see a bad movie because it's a waste of time. Yeah, thank you for watching this with me. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We are for sure, not fucking around, for sure going to have a better movie for you in the next episode. I'll give you a hint. I don't give hints out very often. I'm not smart enough to keep this all in order to keep the hints, consistent, because I like changing my mind at the last minute. But the hint is Brits on a beach.
Brits on a beach.
You like that? You like that hint?
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to say One Direction.
Yeah.
But Brits on the beach, I like that better.
We'll talk about that in the next episode. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Filmistines. Thanks for tuning in and joining us on our cinematic journey. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and gained some new insights and perspectives on the world of movies. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform, especially Patreon at patreon.com/Filmistines. And follow us on social media for more film-related content. We love hearing from our listeners. So if you have any feedback, suggestions, movie recommendations, or book recommendations, please feel free to reach out to us. Until next time, keep watching, keep loving the magic of movies. This is the Filmistines signing off.